Hello dear friends, welcome to Gate Academy Global. So before starting today's session, I would like to have the concurrence as well as feedback regarding the quality of video as well as audio. If it is perfect, just write perfect over the live chat and then we are ready to go ahead. And the student who have attended my last class probably must be able to recall, specifically in last class we were discussing about the gamma integration. And yes, we have taken around 2 to 3 number of problems while doing the analysis with the gamma integration itself. Now the agenda behind today's video has been very precise and clear. We are going to discuss about the another kind of the integration, and that had been beta integration. We would be focusing over the beta integration, and once we are done with the beta integration now, we would take few number of consolidated problems which would fall from, few of them would come from gamma and few of them would come from beta integration. So I would be taking few number of numericals from beta as well as gamma integration, beta as well as gamma integration. Yes, are you ready for it? So wanted to have the input from at least from one people that the quality of video as well as audio, is it perfect or not? If it is perfect, just write perfect over the live chat. So at least I'll have the fair idea that each and everything is properly transmitted from my side. So let me focus over beta integration first. So I have been focusing over the beta integration at very beginning. So I have been focusing over the beta integration, beta integration. Beta integration. Anyways, first focus over the structure of the beta integration. As we have the standard structure of the gamma integration, in the same form, you would also have the standard structure of the beta integration also. You would have the standard structure of the beta integration also. Is it proper communicated or not? I want at least one input here. Okay. So how the beta integration looks like? How the beta integration looks like? The beta integration used to be integration from 0 to 1, x has been raised to m minus of 1, 1 minus of x has been raised to n minus of 1, and the integration has been taken over the x-axis. So obviously the dx would come over here, dx would come over here. Let me check whether it's been properly transmitted or not. Let me check it out. Let me check it out. The videos are properly visible, no? Along with this audio. Tell me, at least one input I want, otherwise I had to check it out. I had to check it out. Let me check that. Gate Academy Global goes over here. Yeah, perfect, no? Perfect, perfect. Then it's fine. Yeah. And here the result used to be beta of m comma n, and the beta of m comma n can be connected with gamma function, and it's been written as gamma of m divided by f gamma of n, and towards denominator side it has been gamma of m plus n together, gamma of m plus n together. And one thing you could see over here, what it is being said, in future if you'll change or if you'll swap m with n and n with m, still there would not be any change in it. It would become gamma of n, it would become gamma of m, it would become gamma of n, and it would become gamma of m. What does it mean of it? That means the result is not going to change if m and n is going to get swapped. So in future if you want, you can rewrite this complete formula in the form of integration which starts from 0 goes till 1, x has been raised to power of n minus 1, and here 1 minus of x has been raised to the power of m minus 1. So if you want, we can write the another form of this equation, because as far as this result is being concerned, no, if m and n is getting swapped, then also the result is not going to get affected. So here rather writing it m minus 1, I am writing it n minus 1, and in the same way we are going to write this as 1 minus x, and it has been raised to m minus of 1, and here goes dx, here goes dx. Still the result is gonna be beta. Rather writing it m comma n, you can write n comma of n, but result is not going to change, because you know multiplication as well as addition has been the commutative in nature, What does that mean of it? What does that mean of it? That means in future even the values are getting swapped, still the result would not change, Yes. So let me take few number of numericals based on this concept, and then we would try to stretch this numerical into the trigonometric domain, and from there the question do come repeatedly. Like you deal with the problem integration from 0 to pi by 2 sin to the power of 6 x, maybe sine to the power of 8x, maybe sin x into cos to the power of 10x. So those sort of problems can be easily dealt with the beta integration. So till this point, probably each and individual thing must be clear to all of us. Agreed? So let me take few number of questions, and I would expect each one of us must be able to give that answer, probably maximum to maximum in 30 seconds. This has been the first problem. Integration has been taken from 0 to 1 in this standard form, and here it had been x to the power of 2, 1 minus of x to the power of, let's take here it had been 3 dx. May I know what would be its answer? What you have to do? Either of them you can select as m. If you select this as m, so obviously it becomes m minus of 1 would get compared with 2. So the value of m is gonna be 2 plus of 1, that is 3. And similarly, let's take the n minus of 1 is getting compared with 3. So n minus of 1 is equals to 3, the n would become 4. So lump sum, the worth which we are going to get out of it, you have to increase this value by 1. So simply it would become 3. And you have to increase this value by 1, and it would become 4 over here. So till this point, I don't find any doubt you guys would be having in your brain. Mathematically speaking, beta integration at any moment of time can be changed into the gamma integration. What used to be the formula? You had to take the gamma of first number into gamma of second number. Anyways, the multiplication has been taken place. So you can take the gamma of first function first, and then you can take the gamma of second number. Towards denominator side also, you had to add them together, and then you had to take its gamma. Then only you have to take its gamma. May you know what used to be gamma of 3? The gamma of 3 or the gamma of n is being written as n minus of 1 for factorial, which we have already seen in the last class. Similarly, gamma of 4 can be written as 3 factorial, which we have seen last class. And similarly, gamma of 7 can be written as 6 factorial. So from here, easily you would be able to find its bestmost answer. Tell me how much answer we are getting for it. You would be getting that answer. Let me see, the calculator had been over here. Nobody should cross this cancel out now. 2 factorial had been 1 into 2. 3 factorial had been 1 into 2 into 3. Whereas 6 factorial had been into 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5 into 6. So nobody should cancel like 2 factorial into 3 factorial divided by 6 factorial should be as equals to of 1. No, it would not be the case. So tell me how much answer we are getting. I want that answer over the live chat. Tell me, फटाफट बोलेंगे. Tell me what would be the bestmost answer for this given problem. Tell me. So here it's gonna be 2 into 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here it goes 6. 2 and 2 is going to go out. 3 and 3 is going to go out. Here it would be 2 2 ja. So towards denominator side, it has been left out with 1 upon 60 probably. This would be the answer for this problem. You can check this out once again. In the same sequence, let me, 1 upon 60. 1 upon 60 had been the bestmost answer for this given problem. In the same sequence, let me take another kind of problem. The problem had been the integration. Integration has been taken from 0 to 1 again. So obviously, we can smell the problem has been framed a bit in a form of beta integration. Let's take the x has been raised to the power of 1 by 2, whereas 1 minus of x has been raised to the power of 3 by 2. And here goes dx. Tell me what would be the worth of this integration. Anyways, the solution starts from here. Tell me how much answer we are getting for this particular problem. I want this answer maximum in 1 minute. So I would be waiting for your replies. I want the input from each one of the you who have been watching my video live. Tell me what would be the bestmost answer for this given problem. What would be the answer for this given problem? What would be the answer for this given problem? Tell me. What would be the answer for this given problem? This problem should not take more than 40 seconds. Still, I have given 1 minute to solve this problem out, and you have to reply the answer over the live chat. So at least I'll have the fair idea whether you guys are able to follow me or not. Tell me what would be the best most answer for this given problem. Only one answer I am getting so far from the Nishant. Whether remaining people are sleeping. Soumyadeep Chaudhary, good evening dear, good evening. Tell me what would be the best most answer for this given problem. Whenever you come across any standard form of the definite integral, first cross check what used to be the standard form of that given integral. Integration has been from 0 to 1. There also in standard beta integration, the integration was started from 0, went till 1. X has been raised to the power of m minus of 1. So instead m minus of 1 we had 1 upon 2. And there 1 minus of x has been raised to the power of n minus 1. Instead the n minus 1 we had 3 by 2. We had 3 by 2. Agreed? Tell me now what would be the answer, how much time you guys would be taking. How much time you guys would be taking? It should not take even 20 seconds I am saying, not more than 20 seconds this problem should take. Tell me what would be the best most answer for this given problem. Tell me. See, what would be the methodology to solve this problem out? Just write beta in a form of m and n. What would be the value of m? M minus of 1 has been half. So obviously half plus of 1, that would be the worth of m, that had been 3 by 2. Agreed. Similarly 3 by 2 has been compared with the n minus 1. 1 would get transferred towards right hand side. 3 plus 2 plus of 1, that would become 5 by 2. 5 by 2. That is okay, sir. That means the worth of beta 3 by 2 comma 5 by 2 would be the worth of this integration. Agreed. How the 3 by 2 as well as 5 by 2 could have been written? Just focus over the complete structure. Towards the numerator side, you yourself would be able to see. Towards the numerator side, we take the gamma of both of the numbers separately. May I know what would be the gamma of 3 by 2 and what would be the gamma of 5 by 2? Categorically, the problem related to the gamma of certain whole number divided by of 2 had been taken quite a few amount of time. Towards denominator side, what would happen? First you had to add them together. 5 plus of 3, that would become 8, divided by f2, that would be simply 4. What would be the worth of gamma of 3 by 2? Gamma of 3 by 2 could have been written as gamma of 1 plus of 1 by 2. 1 by 2 would remain as it is. You would be left out with the gamma of half. The gamma of half can be written as root over of pi at any moment of time. Gamma of 5 by 2 can be written as gamma of 1 plus 3 by 2, would start from 3 by 2, would go to the half, and here you would be left out with the gamma of half, which is equals to of root over of pi. Root over of pi, and towards denominator side you had gamma of 4, which can be written as 3 factorial, and 3 factorial can be written as 2 into 3. 2 into 3. 2 into 3. So till this point probably nobody should have any sort of doubt. In the same sequence, what is happening? The root over of pi and root over of pi, they have been irrational number anyways. We can multiply them together and there would not be any division at least with the root over of pi, because it has been a irrational number. So what is happening over here? 3 and 3 is going to go out. Nobody should cut 2 and 2. They have been multiplier in nature. So towards the numerator side, root over of pi as well as root over of pi is going to get multiplied. That had been pi. And towards denominator side, we had 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. That has been 2 to the power of 4. That used to be 16. What I am saying, this problem should not take more than 30 seconds. Just to explain this problem into the proper way, I have gone into the detailed manner. But the student who are really preparing sincerely for the GATE, they should have such a good amount of effort as well as understanding. At least for this sort of problem, this should not take more than 30 seconds. Because the time which you save into the simple kind of the problem, the time would be put into the difficult problem, and there you are going to make the edge. Agreed? So I don't find any of the student would have any sort of doubt till this moment of point. So in the same sequence, let me take a different kind of the problem just to understand whether the beta integration is been working fine or not. Let's take the integration has been taken from 0 to 1 and I have taken x dx itself. So obviously analytically I could have solved this problem out. The integration of x would be x square divided by f2. The 2 can be treated as constant. The limit would be fed over the function of x alone, which would go from 0 to 1. Once you will feed 1, it would become 1 square. And once you will feed 0, it would become 0. Put together the answer which we are going to get in our hand, it's simply going to be 1 by 2. Till this point, no doubt, sir. But we will try to learn whether the same answer we are getting after doing its beta integration or not. We should get, no. In mathematics, either you follow the method number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, graphical method, analytical method, numerical method, you must be getting the same answer, no. Then only I would assume, then only I will presume the beta integration has been working fine. So once again, cross check with the all of its mandates. So if you'll compare with the standard form of the beta integration, my dear friends, x has been raised to the power of m minus of 1, and here it was 1, so obviously it would be taken as 2 itself. Similarly, 1 minus of x, here that term was absent. What does that mean of it? That means 1 minus of x has been raised to the power of 0, and that 1 minus of x to the power of 0 has to get compared with the 1 minus of x to the power of n minus of 1. So n minus of 1 is equals to 0, the value of n would be 1 over here. The value of n would be 1 over here. Could you understand what I am saying? In the same sequence, if we move forward, so the beta of 2, how it would be defined, you yourself would be able to understand. Here is going to be gamma of 2, gamma of 1, and towards the denominator side, you will be having gamma of 3, gamma of 3. So what is the result we are getting out of it? What is the result we are getting out of it? Any mistake had it happened? Tell me. How much answer we are getting? How much answer we are getting for this? How much answer we are getting for this? So from there, you would be able to get the answer. You would be able to get that answer. Tell me how much answer we have been getting. So here it becomes gamma of 2 can be written as 1 factorial, that's 1. Gamma of 1 can be written as 0 factorial, that's again 1. Gamma of 3 can be written as 2 factorial, that's a 2 again. So the result what we are supposed to get, obviously, has to be very same, So till this point, probably nobody should have any sort of doubt. Wanted to ask from each one of you till this point, each and everything is clear or not. If it is clear, just write clear over the live chat, so at least I'll have the fair idea that you guys are following my concept well. Yes, Nissan, the answer had been 1 upon 2. The answer had been 1 upon 2. In the same sequence, let me move forward and let me rephrase this standard form of the beta integration. What had been the standard form of the beta integration? The integration was prevailed from 0 to 1. Yes, sir. 0 to 1. Here we had x which was raised to the power of m minus of 1. We had 1 minus of x which has been raised to the power of n minus of 1. This formula would not be used that frequently, and the result is already been seen in a form of beta m comma n, in form of gamma that has been seen as gamma of m, gamma of n, and towards denominator side it has been the gamma of m plus n. Towards the denominator side it has been the gamma of m plus n. But we will go ahead with its more important form. So write down somewhere here. Now I would be discussing about its more important form. A small substitution will make this complete form of the beta integration more powerful. Let's see how. What I did over here, I have just taken x is equals to of sine square of t. I have taken x is equals to of sine square t. So may I know what would be the change over its limit? Once I would feed x is equals to 0, what it becomes? It becomes 0. Square would become square root towards left hand side, so it had become sine t is equals to 0. May I know what used to be the value of t for which the sine t would be 0? Obviously at t is equals to of 0 radian. T is equals to of 0 radian. In the same sequence, once we feed x is equals to of 1, so here it becomes 1 is equals to of sine square t. Square would go towards left hand side, it would become 1. So may I know for which value of t the sine of t would be equals to of 1? Obviously, precisely at t is equals to of pi by 2. So whenever the substitution used to take in place in integration, you need not to forget that even the substitution in terms of their integral values or the limits should also be taken place, because here the limits were the limits of x, but here it has been changed in a form of t. Agreed? Till this point, I don't find any of the students would have any sort of doubt now. So let me proceed further. See what's happening over here. Sine square of t has been raised to the power of m minus 1. So here it would be sine of 2m minus of 2, which has been the power of obviously sine of t. In the same sequence, what's happening over here? The x has been fed as sine square t over here. Sine square t over here. What had been happening? Okay. Sine square t is going to get subtract with 1. 1 minus of sine square t used to be cos square t. That has been a trigonometric identity, would remain true for all possible values of t. So what happens over here? It would simply become cos square t which has been raised to the power of, so here it becomes, agreeing all of us? Agreeing? No? Till this moment of point, nobody should have any doubt as such, and this has been a most powerful formula. Still few more changes has to be done. Each and every variables has been a variable of t, and even the limits has been taken in form of t. So now it's right time to change the differential form of the x into the form of t. So once you will take the differential form towards left hand side, once we took the differential component towards x, so what would happen? The differentiation of sin square t would also take place. That would be 2 times of sin t. The differentiation of sin t once again, that would be cos of t, and here I would come across dt. I would come across dt. So once we would rephrase the above integration, only one change we are going to place over here. See, sine 2 to the power of m minus of 2 t, and here we had cos of 2n minus of t dt. What was the dx over here? In dx we had the constant component 2, all the way it has been brought towards outside, and here you have been left out with sine of t into cos of t. So the component which is going to get multiplied over here had been sine of t into cos of t. See, sine of t would get multiplied with its own base. The base over here had been sine of t. Sine of 2 to the power of minus 2 is going to get multiplied with the sine of t. What would happen? Their power would get added. Once their power is getting added, definitely you can straight away write this as minus of 1, and the same process is going to happen with this also. So here it becomes dt. Here it becomes dt. And may I know what would be the worth over here? What would be the worth over here? The worth would remain very same. Still it is beta of m comma n. Still it can be written as gamma of n divided by of gamma of m plus of n. Gamma of m plus of n. Such a powerful tool it has been. Yes, it has been a very important powerful tool. If you want, you can bring the 2 towards right hand side. If you want, you can bring that 2 towards right hand side. 2 towards right hand side. Just wanted to ask from this particular point whether this derivation part is clear. If it is not clear, you can just pinpoint in which particular step you had the doubt, because I don't feel that you had to mug up all of the formulas. Even the part of derivation is clear now, then also it's well and fine here. This much time you used to have in GATE, and in GATE all of the questions are based in fundamental type. That means straight away you cannot apply the formula which you have mugged up. So only one response I have got it from the Pranali, Nishant, and the remaining people, whether you are following what exactly I wanted to communicate over here. So probably each one of us would say yes sir. So let me do one thing, let me go into the next slide, and there let me recall what was the rephrase of the integration. What was the rephrase of the integration? It was integration from where to where? 0 to pi by 2. And here we had sine of t can be written as sine of x from the important properties which is being followed by the definite integral, has been raised to the power of 2m minus of 1. Here it's not 2, no, it's 1. And similarly cos x, which has been raised to the power of 2n minus of 1 dx is being equals to of beta m comma of n divided by of 2, where the beta m comma of n can be correspondent with help of gammas. So till this point I don't find any of the student would have any sort of doubt now. In the same sequence, let me move forward. If I take a problem, the integration has to be performed of sine to the power of, let's take 3x over x. So you could have come across this integration many of the times, and I know most of the students used to get stuck on this calculation. What they would do, they would bifurcate sine to the power of 3x into the 2 part. First part they would take as a sine square of x, the second part they would take as a sine of x. Now they would change the sine square x as a 1 minus of cos square x, then they would keep cos x as t, and then they would calculate the complete value, which is a hell amount of time which is going to be spent. Hell amount of time you are going to get spent. So that is what I am saying, you just focus over this kind of problem to know the beauty behind the beta integration. See what is happening over here. Either you take the power of sine, either you take the power of cos, You can compare with 2m minus of 1, or you can compare with the 2n minus of 1. Why? Because even if you swap the m and n's location, no, still the answer is not going to change. So nobody should, what I am saying, could you understand what I am saying? So even this same expression could have been rewritten as sin x, which has been raised to the power of 2n minus of 1, cos x has been raised to the power of 2m minus of 1, and here goes dx. So you need not to by heart. What I am saying, you need not to by heart whether the sine to the power was raised to 2n minus of 1 or 2m minus of 1. But one thing has been quite sure, if one has been taken to the power of 2n minus of 1, the another has to be taken in the power of 2m minus of 1. 2m minus of 1. Agreed? Tell me what should be the answer. So you can assume this has been, sir, 2n minus of 1. So the worth of n which have come in our hand, it's simply going to be beta. 3 plus of 1, that would be 4. 4 divided by 2, that would be 2. So the value of n is at least known to me. Similarly, if we'll recheck what had been the worth of cos of x, the cos of x is being absent. That means its power had been 0. I repeat, its power had been 0. And if its power had been 0, 2m minus of 1 would get compared with 0. Minus 1 would go towards right hand side, would become plus. And here the worth of m which we are going to get in our hand has been half. Yes. If we'll focus over its form, so obviously we had to take the gamma towards the upside. Gamma of half we had to consider. The gamma of half used to be what? Root over of pi. Gamma of 2 used to be what? 1 factorial, which is simply 1. And towards denominator side you will add them together. So here it would become gamma of half, that's a 0.5 plus of 2, that would become 2.5. 2.5 could have been written as gamma of 5 by 2. Gamma of 5 by 2 could have been written as 3 by 2 into of half into of root over of pi. Such an easy calculation it had been. Swaha, here it goes out, and here the factor which has been left out has been 4 divided by 3. 4 divided by 3. So the answer which we are going to get for this particular problem has been 4 upon 3, and such a huge amount of effort it would take if you will follow the analytical form of the integration. But that has been saved a lot. No, Nishant, your first answer is correct. The best most answer which we are going to get for this particular problem had been 4 divided by 3. 4 divided by 3. Anyone else apart from Nishant? Only one answer I have achieved till, and that has been 4 by 3 from the Nishant. Anyone else? Yeah, just wanted to ask from each one of you, can you please tell me the two things, the two information I wanted to have? Yeah. The beta, no? Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Divided by 2 would also be there. So end of the day, the result what we are supposed to get is going to be 2 by 3. I forgot the result is going to get divided with 2. I wanted to have the two informations from each one of you. Pranali, the 2 is going to get divided, no, because the result has been divided by 2. I wanted to have the input from each one of you, the student who have been live over this session. The 2 input I want the first input, which particular branch you have been. Because while teaching the mathematics, at least I should have one idea that you have been from which particular branch. That's the first thing. Secondly, from which particular city you guys are. So at least I'll get to know how many North Indian and as well as how many the students who have been from our southern part of the India have been following me. So the two informations I want. The first information, which branch you have been from. The second information, which city you have been from. Tell me. So I want over the live chat. Let me take the next question. So here goes the next question. And the structure of the problem has been rephrased. Let's take it had been sine to the power of 3x. And here goes the cos to the power of 2x. 2x, and again the integration has been done over the x domain. Okay, EC. Okay, 3. Nishant Sharma, you are from EC Delhi. Subhangi, you are from EC Dharamsala. Okay, Uttarakhand. IN Mumbai. What about the remaining people? So probably all of 3 students have been from the almost same domain. The instrumentation, electrical and electronics, that's fine, that's fine. Syllabus is very same for all three branches, except the numerical analysis. The part of numerical analysis is more in case of instrumentation. In case of instrumentation. So may I know what should be the best most answer for this given problem? What would be the best most answer for this given problem? Tell me what would be the best most answer for this given problem. Obviously, at any moment of time, this problem could have been related with the beta integration. The beta integration can be related with this form of the integration. This is in place of 2m minus of 1. Minus 1 goes towards right hand side, it would get added with 3, 3 plus 1 that would become 4, 4 divided by 2 that would become 2. So, the value of m has been known to be 2. Similarly, 2n minus of 1 has to get compared with 2, 2 plus of 1 that would become 3, and now the value of n would become 3 divided by 2. 3 divided by 2. And towards denominator side, you would be having the factor of 2. Towards denominator side, you would be having the factor of 2. Till this point, I don't find any of the students would have any sort of doubt now. Yes, sir. Yes, 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 yes. So first focus over the gamma of 2. Gamma of 2 would be n factorial, n minus of 1 factorial, which would be 1 factorial. 1 factorial would be simply equals to of 1. Similarly, if you focus over the gamma of 3 by 2, gamma of 3 by 2 could have been written as half times of gamma of half. Half would remain as it is, whereas the gamma of half is already been seen, can be written as root over of pi. Towards the denominator side, we have been dealing with 2. 2 would remain as it is. 2 would remain as it is, and we would also be dealing with the gamma of 2 plus of 3 by 2. How much it would be? It would be 7 by 2. Agreed, no? 2 2 ja, that's gonna be 4. 4 plus of 3, that's gonna be 7 by 2. How the gamma of 7 by 2 could have been written? You would start with 5 by 2, then you would go to the 3 by 2, then you would go to the half, and the last component which would be left out in your hand is gonna be gamma of half itself. Gamma of half itself. Agreed? Gamma of half itself. So obviously this and this is going to go out. This and this is going to go out. This and this is going to go out. So the answer which we have been getting over here, tell me how much we are getting. So the answer have started coming perfect. The answer which we are getting, it's been 2 divided by of 15. 2 divided by 15. So till this point, I don't find any of the students would have any sort of doubt now. Anyways, in the same sequence, let me go ahead. What I have been designing, I have designing a special kind of the problem, and I know many of the students would have really hell amount of pain over this problem. Hell amount of pain over this problem. Tell me, what would be the answer for this given problem? What would be the answer for this given problem? Sine to the power of 6x dx, deliberately I have changed its limit from 0 to pi, because most of the students who have really by-hearted the formulas as well as concept, they would not be able to approach this problem at all. That's the first thing. Secondly, I would like to ask from the 3 active members of mine, they have been Nishant, Subhangi as well as Pranali, how will you smash this problem out? How will you smash this problem out? What would be your fundamental? What would be your fundamental? Or the next question I can ask from you guys, can I use the beta integration to solve this problem out or not? Tell me. Can I use the beta integration to solve this problem out or not? I would like to have the input from each one of you. Tell me, what would be the best most answer? What would be the best most answer? Yes या no? ये बताइए आप लोग पहले. Tell me whether I can apply the gamma integration over this problem or not. First, the answer should come in a form of yes and no. If the answer is yes, definitely we are going to proceed further. If the answer is no, definitely no chance at all. Sir, even function will apply prop. I couldn't understand. My dear friends, the integration has been from 0 to pi. It's not from minus pi to pi. It's not from minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2. Think and then tell. No, sir. Pranani Ingole says no, sir. Anyone else? Anyone else? Subhangi, what's about your opinion? Can I use the beta integration to solve this problem out or not? So only one answer I have got it so far from the Pranali. He says no. try to understand how this structure had been. And that is why I say, until and unless you do not appreciate the graphical understanding of the function, no, you are dead actually in mathematics. You are completely dead. My dear friends, forget about sine to the power of 6x. Just focus over the sin x itself. Just focus over the sin x itself. How the sine of x would be from 0 to pi. 0 to pi. Obviously, it would be a lower facing concave. It would be lower facing concave. That's fine, sir. No issue. It has been 0, sir. It has been pi by 2. It has been pi. It has been pi. The upper magnitude would stuck at 1, and this has been sine of x. I did not take this function towards left hand side as well as right hand side. Why? Because the area of curve which had to get integrated has been in between 0 to pi. My dear friends, if the sine has been raised to the power of 6, what would happen? 1 to the power of 6 would remain at 1, and this function would again be an even function. This function would again be an even function. This function would be again an even function, taking the reference of x is equals to of pi by 2. Taking the reference of x is equals to of pi by 2. What does that mean of it? That means whatever the area which would be conceded, in this region, the same area would be conceded in this region. No, what I am saying? This pinkish region. Agreed? So it has been an even function, but taking the reference of x is equals to pi by 2. Could you really understood this concept or not? I would like to have the input from each one of you. Could you really understood this concept or not? If you are not able to understand that concept, I can draw this curve over the 2D graph. We'll try to draw that. Just a minute. I have to change my connection. Then only I can go ahead there. Just a minute. So let me connect it. Agreed? So let me go back. Let me go to the screencasting. Just a minute. Not now. The session ID had been 45434348. Present. Share my screen. Yes, start sharing. So probably it must be visible to all of us. First focus over sine of x. Probably each one of us must be well acquainted with the sine of x. Yes, just a minute. Each one of us must be well acquainted with the sine of x. But how the sine of x to the power of 6 would look like? Let me take that reference also. So here it goes sine, where it had been, here it goes sine, here it goes x, and which would be raised to the power of, just a minute. Power of 6. See how the curve would look like. The curve had been this. Is it visible to all of us? The curve had been this. And if you really want to understand what are the different values of x, that you can draw it over here. Just a minute. Yeah. This has been x is equals to of 0 radian. This has been x is equals to of pi by 2 radian. And this has been around here, x is equals to of pi radian. Yes, no? It has been x is equals to pi radian, because the pi used to have the worth somewhere 3, no? That is why it has been coming at 3. And similarly had the worth somewhere 1.5, so it has been coming somewhere here. So may I know whether the area which has been conceded in this region, has been very same which has been considered in this region or not? Obviously, it has been utterly same. So what I am saying, In the question, you were focusing finding the worth of sine which has been raised to the power of 6 dx, where the x was moving from 0 to pi. 0 to pi. But now what you could have done? You could have taken this integration by parts from here to here, from here to here, and this area has been same. They have been maintaining the same magnitude and both have been towards upper side. So what would happen at last? You can change it to the x is equals to of 0 to pi by 2. And now here it becomes sine to the power of 6x dx. Now easily you would be able to find this problem out. You would be able to find this problem out. Tell me what would be the best most answer for this given problem. Tell me what would be the best most answer for this given problem. So easily you would be able to get the precise most answer for this given problem. See what would be the solution for it. 6 would get compared with 2n minus of 1. 6 plus of 1, that would become 7. So obviously it had been 7 divided by 2. You can take that has been the worth of m. Here you could have cos of x which has been raised to the power of 0. That has to get compared with the 2n minus of 1. Minus of 1 would get shifted towards right hand side, would become plus of 1. Plus of 1 would get divided with 2. So here we would be left out with the half itself. We would be left out with the half itself. And here it goes 2 into beta. Beta of 7 by 2 could have been written as 5 by 2 into of 3 by 2 into of 3 by 2 into of 1 by 2, and here it would be root over of pi, and here it would be gamma of half itself. Towards numerator I am telling, no, towards numerator I am telling, yes, and towards denominator you would be having, already 2 you had earlier, which is going to get knocked off, and here you would be having the addition between both. So here it would become gamma of 7 by 2 plus of half, that is gonna be 4 itself. That's gonna be 4 itself. Gamma of 4 can be written as 3 factorial, which would be equals to of 2 into 3 into 1. 2 into 3 into 1. Agreed? So what is happening over here? You yourself would be able to understand it very perfectly. Root pi and root pi, they are going to get smashed out, and they would just be pi now. They would just be pi now. Similarly, towards numerator side, we are going to have 5 into 3, that's a 15, and towards denominator we are going to have 2 into 2 into 2, that's a 8 into 2, that's a 16, 16 into 3, 16 into 3. So here the result what we are supposed to get is been 5 divided by of 16 pi. Such a easiest form of the problem it was. Such a easiest form of the problem it was. And I know many of the students would have a lot of doubt in this problem. And I don't know why the remaining people are not able to reply this, because this has been a problem where most of the problems were concentrated. The problem do come from this particular category again and again. Could you understand what exactly I wanted to communicate over here? So I don't find any of the student would have any sort of doubt, and this process has been a monotonic process. The student who have done 2 or 3 number of problems based on this process, no, probably he is going to just kick that problem towards 6. Agreed? If this concept is clear, just write clear over the live chat, so I'll have the better understanding that you people are able to understand the concept into the propermost form. Yes. Tell me. Agreed? Should I be giving the next question? What I am saying, should I be giving the next question? Should I be giving the next question or not? Let me take the next question. And this would be the question where many of the students are going to get stuck. It had been the integration of cos which has been raised to the power of 7x dx. Tell me, what would be its worth? What would be its worth? Cos which has been raised to the power of 7x dx. try to understand this problem graphically, because unnecessarily you will bring the concept of the gamma integration over here and really you are going to make this problem hell. Otherwise this problem is a problem probably within 5 seconds you would be able to answer it well. You would be able to answer it well. You would be able to answer it well. Tell me what would be the best most answer for this given problem. What would be the answer for this given problem? 10 seconds has been given to you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, bingo. The answer is going to be 0. Perfect, Nissan, perfect. The answer is going to be 0. Why the answer is going to be 0? Once you will focus over the cos of x, no. You could have seen at x is equals to 0, it takes its maximum worth, that has been 1, and at x is equals to pi by 2, it takes 0, and towards the pi it goes to the minus of 1. So the area which has been considered in between x is equals to 0 to pi by 2 and pi by 2 to pi has been same in magnitude but had been opposite in polarity. But as okay. Tell me. If I take the next question, 0 to pi cos to the power of 6x dx. So the student who have given the answer, no, they should reply once again whether we would be getting the answer as 0 once again or the answer would be something else. Tell me. Again I want the answer from each one of you whether the answer would be 0 or non-zero in this problem. The answer would be 0 or non-zero in this problem. Pranali, Subhangi and Nissan, they have given the answer as zeros. And now I would like to change this problem a bit, rather raised to the power of 7. Now the cos of x has been raised to the power of 6. Still we would be getting the answer as 0 or the answer would be non-zero. Tell me, each one of you. No, I don't want the exact answer actually. Non-zero. Nissan says non-zero. Subhangi and Pranali, whether the answer would be 0, it would be non-zero. Would it be 0, would it be non-zero? See what is happening over here. From 0 to pi, no, the cos of x is going to concede the same amount of area, but the polarity is going to be different, positive and negative. See what is happening. If you take its even power, what would happen? Even the lobe which we had towards downside would be shifted towards upside. And what would happen? Once you will add them together from 0 to pi, they would not be subtractive in nature. But even if its power is being odd, no, what would happen? The upper lobe, obviously structure wise it would change a bit because the power has been raised, and lower lobe would remain towards lower side. And once you will add them together, the area under the curve would become 0. Non-zero, non-zero. Agreed? No? So obviously here it would be non-zero, non-zero. And how will you calculate this out? How will you calculate this out? The 2 and the area which was conceded by the cos of x from 0 to pi by 2 was same as from pi by 2 to pi, and now because of even power, what I am saying, the word is even power, the area has been same. So what we can do over here? If you are not agreeing on it, you can check by yourself. If you are not agreeing on it, you can check by yourself. Agreed? No? Vanya, thanks dear. Thanks. So let me graphically understand whether things are going into the proper direction or not. For that, what I am going to do, I am going back into the 2D grapher. Just a minute. Screen share. What has happened? It is not getting. Just a minute. New session. Okay, let me go into the new session and try to understand what exactly I wanted to communicate through this problem. So again, I had to connect my mobile to this. So session ID had been 996261. 996261. Yes, it has been connected now. Present. Screen sharing have started. So this was sine which has been raised to the power of 6x. Anyways, forget about it. And let's change this sine of x to the cos of x. What I am saying, the sine of x has been changed to the cos of x. So here the function which is going to come is going to be cos of x, and you yourself would be able to see over here. You yourself would be able to see over here. Whatever I wanted to communicate, it's clearly visible. It's clearly visible. Is it visible or no? Okay, see. This has been, see, this has been x is equals to of 0 radian. This has been x is equals to of 0 radian. 0 radian. Yes. Till this point, I don't find any of the student would have any sort of doubt. And pi radian has the worth somewhere 3.14. So somewhere here you have been getting x is equals to of pi radian, and at middle most you are getting x is equals to of pi by 2 radian. Pi by 2 radian. Agreed, no? Till this point, I don't find any of the student would have any sort of doubt, no? And the area which would be considered in this region, almost here it had become 0. And the area which would be considered in this region had got the equal in magnitude, That means straight away you can take the integration from 0 to pi by 2, and you can forget about the integration from pi by 2 to pi. Whatever the area is being considered in this region, you can just multiply with 2, or you can just add with its own value. Agreed, no? So what had been happening over here? So as you have been focusing over probably cos of 6x, no? Yeah. And your integration was raised from 0 to pi. So rather taking from 0 to pi, you have changed it to the 0 to pi by 2. And here the 2 would be taken out, and integration has been taken place from 0 to pi by 2 into 2. Now many of the students would say, sir, what's the advantage? Advantage has been, now it has been a standard form of the beta integration, and you are do balle. You can solve this problem with the shortest amount of path. Is it a part clear? So obviously it must be clear to all of us, and the value was non-zero as it was communicated. And even I would be the designer of the problem. Now I am going to ask this sort of problem, because see, the student who had a little bit amount of beta integration, no, they are not going to get the marks from this particular domain. And the student who have a little bit idea about the even, they do not know even the concept of the even can also be applied taking the reference of any constant x axis. Maybe x is equals to pi by 2, maybe pi, or maybe 2 pi. So there they are going to get stuck. In the same sequence, let me do one thing. Change this problem a bit. Just a minute. Change this problem a bit. Again, I have to take a new session probably. Yeah, let me take the new session once again. Again and again it's going to come out. Okay. That has been 496,711. 496,711. 496,711. Yes. Let me present my mobile over here. So again it has got presented. So what is going to happen over here? Earlier the function which we have drew over here had been cos, which has been raised to the power of 6x. Resume. Yeah. But now, so here it became, instead the power of 6, let me take the powers to be 7, and you yourself would be able to see such a beautiful curve it had been. This has been x is equals to of 0 radian. Somewhere where here around 3.14, it's exactly at this point it has been pi radian, and at middlemost point you would be having pi by 2 radian. And once you will be focusing over the area which has been enclosed by this area, this would be treated as positive. Nissan, Pranali, as well as the 3 students who have been following me, they had the problem, they had the doubt. This area, would it be treated as positive, and this area, would it be treated as negative or positive? Both positive, both negative. Tell me. A1, would it be treated as positive? A2, would it be treated as negative? My dear friends, the integration has been taken place from 0 to pi. That means you have been moving from left hand to right hand side, or I can say the upper limit had been towards right hand side, whereas the lower limit has been towards the left hand side. So one thing is quite sure, this area would be presumed as the positive area, and this area would be presumed as negative area. And as far as their worth is being concerned, so once you will take its result, mod of A1 is precisely same as mod of A2, at least in this problem. At least in this problem. So one thing I've been quite sure, in future if you take the algebraic sum, the quantum of the A1 would be taken as positive. Magnitude wise they were same, sign was they were different. So the result what we are going to in our hand is simply going to be 0. It's simply going to be 0. Obviously. Anyways, before closing today's video, I would like to have a little bit feedback. Any sort of improvement I can have over the mathematics, so you can suggest. If it is in favor of you, definitely I will try to implement from the next video onwards. If any sort of feedback you guys are having regarding the mathematics specifically, you can put it over the live chat. And the student who have been attending my electromagnetic field theory, they can also be giving certain sort of feedback over the live chat. So we'll try to implement from the next video onwards, provided it must be in your favor. So I would be spending around 2 minutes just to see any sort of feedback you guys are having, and then we would go for the very good night. Start with the mathematics. Take your time, start with the mathematics. All good, sir. Raghuraj Singh, thanks dear. Still I am saying, see, nobody is perfect in life. Nobody is perfect in the world. Even I feel the same. Desmos is best during class. Okay. So what I am saying, what you wanted to say, Nishant, graphical understanding is the better way to represent or to communicate the concept into the better way. So we will try to use the more frequent this concept. Pranali Ingole says, no sir, pleasure learning from you. That's fine, dear. Okay then, we would bind up our class today here itself, and probably tomorrow we are going to come with few number of numericals. Please tell some software for EMFT. Manju Sudhakaran, not at all required, because there are few number of applications which you can install over the Android phone, and there you can feel or you can visualize the 3D function, and that too in vector form. But what I feel, that is not at all that efficient. Otherwise you can use Volform. You can use Volform. And there you can draw the various kinds of the curve. Not only that, even if you use the control system through the Volform, you can draw the root locus, you can draw the Bode plot, Bode magnitude plot, Bode phase plot, you can draw Nyquist plot, you can draw polar plot. Almost all sort of functions can be drawn over the Volform, and it has been a pure technical software. So you can search like draw the Bode plot using the Volform. Similarly, draw the vector field using the Volform. Once you will write over the website, no, definitely the different kinds of the Volform is going to come in front of you in Chromebook. Yes. Okay then. Sir, is it important for NET exam? Definitely, it is very important. NET also, it's very important. Okay then, this is all about the today's video. Any sort of further feedback if you wanted to have, you can put it over the live chat. Otherwise, we'll push up for the today's night. Okay then, bye-bye, take care, good night, and yes, take care of your health as well as the health of your family. Good night, bye-bye, take care.